Hey everyone, I'm Jane Cormack. This is Rhythmic Inspiration and this is the Pleasure Project. Welcome to the Pleasure Project. So what is the Pleasure Project? It is a project that you do for the sole purpose of bringing you into your pleasure, bringing you into what gives you joy. And that's the only purpose of the Pleasure Project. Now, why do we want to do a pleasure project? Well, I thought that would have been fairly obvious because we want to experience more pleasure in our lives. Now, as a woman, we probably want to experience a lot more pleasure in our day-to-day lives than we do. So many women are feeling stressed, overwhelmed, disconnected from their bodies, from what gives them joy, and often they forget what actually gives them joy and pleasure because they haven't experienced it for such a long time. So I want to inspire you to begin a pleasure project. Now, what does that look like? Well, I'll start with the example of what my pleasure project is right now. And your pleasure project might change from week to week, from month to month, depending on what it is that you feel inspired to do that's giving you the current pleasure in your life. So for me, creativity is always something that gives me so much pleasure. And I'm working right now, or playing, shall I say, on this painting. The center focus of the painting is my joy. It's all the things that make me feel joyful, that bring me back into my joy. And the only reason I decided to do this was because I was thinking, gosh, I haven't been doing so many things that I know make me feel good, that I know give me pleasure and joy. And I want to work on a project that brings me back to that. Now, I'm going to share more as when this project's finished, because it's such an important subject, pleasure and joy, and one that is greatly underestimated, greatly undervalued. There is so much value in doing things for the sheer pleasure and joy of it. And I will go into that more through the progression of the painting I'm doing as I go more deeper into my own pleasure and joy. So it can be a painting, it could be working with colour. Your pleasure project might be doing a photography project. It could be something creative. Often something creative, it gives us a lot of pleasure. It could be baking, it could be creating some recipes. Pleasure is often connected to creation and to nature and to intimacy, to experiencing pleasure in your body. So there are many pleasure projects that we can play with that can bring us back into our pleasure. Now, I am going to be offering a workshop on the 19th of October in Edinburgh. It's called Powerful and Feminine. And the purpose of the workshop is not only to access our own power as women and to stay in our femininity, but to experience, circulate and sustain pleasure within our own bodies. How much pleasure can you allow yourself to experience in your body? How much pleasure can you allow into your life? And if you're interested in coming to this workshop, I'll put all the details below the video. Now, how much pleasure you can allow yourself to experience is a big clue to how you feel about what's going on in your life right now. If you're not doing anything that's giving you pleasure, if you're not doing anything that brings you back into your joy, then you need to start reminding yourself of what that feels like, how it can uplift you, how it can help you be more in your power and feel more radiant, feel more magnetic to life, and just enjoy the experience of life more. So we're going to play with pleasure at this workshop. And also on the 16th of November, I'm offering a workshop called Staying Centered No Matter What. And this workshop focuses on how we can, as women, stay in our power center no matter what chaos is going on around us. We can be in the center of the storm. We can still be clear. We can still be focused. We can still be feminine and be in our power and stay centered. So I'll put all the details of that workshop also below. I'd love to see you there. But for now, I'd love to hear what your pleasure project might be, and to inspire you to begin your pleasure project today. Don't leave it till next week or even tomorrow. Start just writing a list of what gives me pleasure. What am I not doing that I know gives me so much pleasure? And begin to circulate some ideas of what your project might be. And that's just something that it might be what it's going to be this week. And you can have a different pleasure project next week or a different pleasure project next month. So my pleasure project might take me a while to finish. I might start another pleasure project. And the only reason I'm doing it is for me to experience as much pleasure as possible. So it's not a project that you have a deadline for. It's not a project that you have to finish or complete. It's not something that you have in the back of your head thinking, oh gosh, I got to do that. No, it's purely for you to go to, for you to access, for you to do when you want to just bring yourself back to that feeling and remind yourself, this is what joyfulness feels like. This is what pleasure feels like. I want to do more of this. I want to experience more of this in my life. That's what your pleasure project is for. So I'd love to hear what your pleasure project is going to be. So please post a comment below the video, post a comment on the blog page, and share your pleasure project. You might inspire other people to start their own pleasure project as well, and give them ideas for what could my pleasure project be, and remind them of what actually might give them some pleasure. So please share. I'd love to hear from you. And if you would like to join us, then just send me an email, and you would be so welcome to come to Edinburgh and join us in the workshops in October and November. So enjoy your pleasure project, experiencing and taking as much pleasure in being who you are today. And I will see you very soon. Okay, bye for now.